Welcome to the Core Idea, where we explore different perspectives but often still meet at the core. We're back at it again for another episode of Feel Good Friday. On Monday, we talked about the ripple effect, and on Wednesday, we explored sound waves. Today, we're headed to the beach. Did you make the connection of the theme of the week? If you guessed waves, ding ding ding, you're correct. I got a question for you. What's your favorite thing about the beach? Is it riding the waves, seashell hunting, the boardwalk food and games, building sand castles, or maybe is it just simply the feeling of the sand in your toes? While you grab your favorite beach road trip snack for this episode, I have a quick story for you. Yesterday, as I was getting ready for this episode, I had a little tidal wave of my own. I spilled coffee across my laptop. And when I say across it, I mean from one side all the way to the other. And everything, thankfully, seems to be okay. But watching that coffee rush across my laptop definitely got me to thinking about how waves have a funny way of showing up when we least expect them. Sometimes they're made of salt water, and sometimes they're made of caramel macchiato coffee. And sometimes they're just simply there in the moments that we never saw coming. Which made me wonder, what is it about the waves at the beach that feel so much more welcoming than the waves that we experience in our everyday lives? Put your sunglasses on and grab your beach towel and let's get into it. During the trip there, we often find ourselves daydreaming about the very first thing that we're going to do when we get to the beach. Maybe you're heading straight for the water. Maybe you're hunting for seashells. Or maybe you're claiming the perfect spot in the sand.
3 hours later.
We can finally see the ocean. We're ready for a relaxing day at the beach. But suddenly, big waves that can knock you down. Tidal waves. Sometimes they even sweep you away, relocating you. But isn't it funny? At the beach, when those waves knock us over, we usually pop right back up on our feet laughing and we find our way back. Yesterday, my good friend and loyal listener, Tift, sent me a screenshot that made me smile. He only knew what the title was for today's episode, but he still saw this and thought of me. So first off, shout out to you again, buddy. I think you accidentally summed up today's episode perfectly. Happiness does come in waves. But what if we looked at the tidal waves of our own lives? Financial struggles, health concerns, unexpected loss, major life changes. Those are waves too. And every one of us has had to learn how to tread water through them. So maybe the question isn't whether we'll ever experience waves, but maybe it's how are we going to ride them? I heard a quote the other day that really stuck with me. It said, "Nothing has meaning unless you assign it meaning. Until then, it's neutral." And I think that's worth sharing today, because sometimes we get ourselves so wound up that when an unexpected wave comes, We aren't braced for impact. We're braced to react. Sometimes in life, it's so easy to get trapped in the mindset of, well, this is happening now, so this will probably happen too. We literally spend so much time preparing for the worst that we forget to prepare for the best. So this weekend, I challenge you to prepare for the best in a situation that you have to face. Whether it's an expected situation or unexpected. We spend so much time comparing our waves to other people's waves. And eventually we end up comparing our own outer shell too. But a seashell, they don't spend time looking at other seashells and comparing themselves. A sand dollar doesn't worry that it doesn't have a pearl, and a chipped seashell doesn't see itself as broken compared to a fuller shell. Some seashells are smooth and some are rough. Some are tiny and some are huge. Some are colorful while some are plain. Some are full and some seashells are chipped. But in the moment of seashell hunting, none of those differences matter. In fact, they're actually the reason why they come home with us. So why is that such a hard concept to apply when it comes to people in our own communities and even in ourselves? Maybe that's why the beach is such a peaceful place, a healing haven. Not just because of the salt water, and not just because life disappears, but for a moment in time, we do too. There's something to be said about tossing off your sandals and being barefoot and feeling the earth beneath your feet. At the beach, we step into the sand and we feel the warmth hit our toes, and suddenly it's like a big hug wrapping around us. And in our backyards, we can feel the coolness of the grass, and it instantly transports us back to childhood. And for a little while, everything resets. Recently, I stumbled upon some sneakers that gives you the feeling of grounding while wearing them. You're able to spread your toes out unlike when you wear most modern sneakers. Hey, did you know that most sneakers are made with synthetic rubber, which is said to cut off natural connection to the earth? As part of my spiritual journey, I've been interested in practices that help me strengthen my soul and ground my spirit. So naturally, I purchased a pair, and I am super stoked to give them a try. I'll let you know how it goes, and if you're interested, I'll provide links in the comments. Just drop a foot emoji down in the comments. And speaking of spiritual journeys, one of my favorite quotes says, "The highest form of spirituality is childlike fun." And honestly, I can't think of anything that highlights that more at the beach than sandcastles and the boardwalk. That's one of my favorite parts of the beach. The boardwalk is full of fun and creation. There you'll find different artists, different performers, different smells, different sounds, different people, all gathered in one place. You can't go on a boardwalk without grabbing some of those delicious, salty, vinegary boardwalk fries. I can smell them now. If you've ever been on a beach in the mid-Atlantic coast, you know all about Core Brothers ice cream. Although I don't have any personal relations to the iconic franchise, I am still always getting messages from both internet and everyday life friends who are at the beach and Secor Brothers. And then they think of me, and I honestly love that. Once you're all fueled up from boardwalk food, you can't forget about the boardwalk games. Basketball, dart balloon pop, or even the games for the little ones where they're always guaranteed to win a prize, right? Ugh. Just thinking about it makes me feel young again. Wow. Carefree, imaginative. Like the boardwalk is so ageless, right? Because as soon as we hear,
"Watch the tram car, please. Watch the tram car, please,"
we stop worrying about where our money is going to come from for our next bill, and then we hand it over to the game jockey to give it our best go on the biggest prize at his booth. For just a little while, we choose hope over worry, and we choose possibility over probability. And that's what it's about, right? Living in the moment. And at the core of it, I think that the beach teaches us a lot about balance, right? On the boardwalk, we're able to embrace frivolously on things that mark a moment in time. And in the sand, we are reminded to slow down. Not just from the warmth of the sand in our toes, but from the patience that it takes to build a sandcastle. Like the seashells that we talked about earlier, sandcastles come in all different styles. Some are tiny little starter castles, while others are sensational mansions built grain by grain. And sometimes, if you're not vigilant enough, one big old tidal wave can come along and evict you and all the progress you've ever made. And suddenly, you're starting from scratch. Unless you build a moat around your sandcastle. Unless you build a moat around your sandcastle and around your masterpiece. When I think about a moat, I think about boundaries, right? Because a moat is there to help protect the castle from unwanted outside forces. It creates a little bit of a space between what you've built and everything that's trying to wash it away. And here's the beautiful part about a moat. You don't need the biggest or most elaborate sandcastle on the beach to be deserving of a moat. Which leads me into one of my favorite segments on our show. That's right. It's time to imagine ourselves again as another vessel. Today, that vessel is a sandcastle. Envision yourself as a sandcastle. Better yet, a sandcastle made by younger you. What do you look like? How many flags do you have sticking out of you? Do you have a moat? Do you need a moat? Is your sandcastle half underwater? Or do you have more support at the foundation of your castle? When is the last time that you had to build a moat of boundaries in your own life? Now, before the seagulls come and chase us away, I'll leave you with this. It's okay to buy the t-shirt. Go ahead and get that extra scoop of ice cream. It's okay to build a moat around you because just like sandcastles, we learn that without boundaries, we end up causing more harm to ourselves than we were originally designed to handle. And remember, life is a beach, and we're just playing in the sand. If you enjoyed today's experience, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to smash the notification bell and join me next week to see where the waves take us for another episode of Mindset Monday, right here on the Core Idea.
Watch the tram car, please. Watch the tram car, please.